Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Here with match number 1 with Red White Heroics. This isn't the greatest hand, but I think I'm going to keep it with Double Soldier Pantheons. It's going to be a little bit slow. Do you know, I think this is actually a mulligan. I don't think I can keep this hand with both the Mountain and the Boros Gate. Now I'm thinking about the mana base. We probably need to cut down on the Mountains. They're originally in here for the Chain of the Rocks, but when I was trying to make this deck actual budget, I had to cut a Sacred Foundry, and therefore I had to cut the Chain of the Rocks. So I didn't think it quite fit in the deck. Again, it's definitely, if you can't afford the 4 full play sets of Sacred Foundries, it's definitely a great card, as would be the only removal in this deck. Anywho, I think I'm going to mulligan this. I don't see us. We'd have to really top deck into another white source, and I don't want to top deck another white source. This is actually a better hand, believe it or not, as we do have action on turn number 1, which with as many weenies, this could actually be very lethal. The Soldier Pantheon first turn is probably in there for 4 to 6 damage before it's dealt with, depending on what we're playing against. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck the Soldier Pantheon out and pass the turn. Again, a red source would be ideal. If we can hook up a Madcap Skills to Soldier Pantheon, that is going to be very, very... It's going to put him on a 4-turn clock. And again, he's going to have to answer it with... Okay, an Ash Zealot. Okay, that's a good one. All right, so sweet. So we do hook up our Ash-Zealot, but against a burn deck, I'm not sure. I think what we do is we just Skyguard here, and we just try to race him and wait till he taps out before we hook up that Madcap Skills. I mean, I could go a Favored Hoplite, but I think we can actually race him. If I put the Madcap Skills on the Soldier Pantheon, I'm pretty sure he's just going to get burned. We are going against probably the Phoenix deck, so I'm thinking the Skyguard is just better, and we'll just go for the race. We also do have the Boros Charm, so the race is definitely on. And this could give my guy double strike, which will actually be better than a regular Boros Charm, so we'll wait and see what happens. We'll just keep advancing our own board with creatures. Make him use his removal aggressively here. I mean, the shocks are going to be a very, very tough... hopefully what we draw into is some more land sources and a God's Willing, and then we can just blow him out. Again, I cannot safely throw a Madcap Skills. I'm going to wait till he's tapped out before I put a Madcap Skills on anything. We still do have action. Of course, I'd prefer this to be a Sacred Foundry. This would be awesome because I could double Favored Hoplites. But at the moment, I mean, actually, if we Madcap Skills on a Favored Hoplite, it could get... big enough to be out of range of his burn, but then we do have to worry about like Chain of the Rocks as well. So here he's debating whether or not to actually burn this off. Again, it's going to be a better matchup post sideboard with the 4 of Brave the Elements, and we'll actually bring in the Hopeful Eidolons and the Gift of Orzhovas, and I think that this matchup will be quite easy after that. We'll have to wait and see, though, because his burn becomes so terrible with Brave the Elements, and a full 4 packs of Brave the Elements and the God's Willings. And what is going to end up happening is I'm just going to cut like Madcap Skills and just go more early creatures and whatnot. So let's see what he does here. All right, so I will get in here for the attackers, and you know what? I wish Boros Charm could actually target with the Indestructible, because I might give the Akroan Crusader Indestructible here. All right, so he doesn't do any damage. We'll just pop out another Favored Hoplite, and he's gonna Magma Jet now on the Soldier Pantheon. So we did get in there. I'm glad I didn't. You can't, into untapped mana, you cannot chuck out any sort of. And he was probably trying to wait out either Brave the Elements or a God's Willing. So anyway, so the race is definitely on. I'm glad he had to actually burn off a creature there. We still have as much damage on board than he does, and again, he is not spending any mana. But I mean, we'll be able to keep up the exact same thing. Is like in a turn he can definitely do a significant amount of damage on his end of turn. I still think it's just attacking with these guys. Unfortunately, he's got 4 mana up now, and this is just going to do 2 damage here. Yeah, this is definitely a cat and mouse game here. He doesn't want to react until I react, and vice versa. The best thing I can draw into is another white source. And again, we need like runner, white source, and God's Willing to be able to react on this Favored Hoplite. The Favored Hoplite can get us there if we can hook it up, if we can get it big enough. And, I mean, one spell on an Ethereal Armor turns it into a 3/4. And a God's Willing would put up to a 4/5. And then it would have to be double burned after that. I mean, hopefully the God's Willing will absorb a burn. Again, it's just going to be another Favored Hoplite. And see what he does in a turn. See if he just starts directly going at my face with spells. I mean, he's got like mainboarded Skullcracks that aren't. Yeah, Boros Charm in my face. And I'm definitely another Boros Charm. Wow, I might have to actually block this Ash Zealot here. Not sure. Yeah, I do have to block this Ash Zealot with a Favored Hoplite to save some damage. And Magma Jet mean he's got the 3rd Boros Charm? Yeah, okay, so that's about as God draw as you can get with the Boros Charms. Let's see here. I'm going to bring in all the lifelink and the Brave the Elements. I don't believe I bring in like Spear of Heliod. I do believe we bring in... No, again, maybe we just need to stabilize. I don't think we need to get any like huge burst against him. I'll keep in the Boros Charms because, again, it gives stuff indestructible. And I'll keep in the Anax and Cymede, but maybe these Skyguards can come out for the Phalanx Leaders. And I'll bring in a 1 of Favored Hero. But the Soldier of Pantheons are fine. The Hero of Iroas actually are pretty bad now that we are... Or maybe the Eidolon of Countless Battles. No, that's fine. Because he has to kill it twice. So maybe, again, like Ethereal Armors are something we don't need. And then just go for like more threats. I still think we have plenty of targets for the Phalanx Leader and whatnot. Well, Spear of Heliod then is going to come in if Ethereal Armors are going to come out. And yeah, earlier the better against this deck. So maybe the Fabled Hero is unnecessary and a Hero of Iroas is unnecessary. Or actually, I'm gonna take the Fabled Heroes completely out. Now Hero just seems better because it actually can accelerate and is a lot quicker. So just 1 of Eidolon of Countless Battles is going to come out. I'm going to submit this. Hopefully we got some lifelink and don't have to mulligan. Again, this is a terrible... I'm going to have to mess with the mana base because that's a terrible keep. This is fine. But I think I need to, again, with the Soldier of Pantheon. He's going to bring in like shocks. We need to see a God's Willing. But I'm thinking when I fix this mana base, it'll be a lot better. I definitely don't need this amount of sources for just this amount of red cards. In fact, we'll cut down to probably we'll put in 1 more Boros Gilgate and completely cut out all these mountains. Again, they're in here for Chain of the Rocks, and now Chain of the Rocks is definitely unnecessary. All right, so I think that's the best game plan. If we do run into a shock, that's unfortunate. But I want to make him react to the Soldier Pantheon. So far, so good. We'll just attack in here first. See if he's got the shock. He does. That's unfortunate. I'll Temple of Triumph here. And put that on top. It's still a good one. Again, we want to have as much pressure as possible to keep him from... We'll Temple of Triumph again. I still think that this one's awesome. I still think Soldier Pantheon's the right play. And this way, if he taps out, he'll probably Magma Jet it. Yep. The good news is he's using his burn spells. We just need to stick one guy. And hit that Gift of Orzhov on any one of our guys, and we should be okay. So let's see if he's got another really good draw with a Phoenix here. No, he doesn't have the double red, so I'm thinking he just might activate. Yeah, activates a Mutavault, and he can still keep shock up if he's got another shock. So I'm down to a 16, and the Gift of Orzhov is pretty bad at this point. We're definitely at a Phalanx Leader, and hopefully it doesn't run into something. So again, we need to... Geez, we could be in very, very bad shape if... Like, I need to be able to hook this up. And I'm just going to Spear of Heliod, and maybe I shouldn't have brought those in. But, I mean, it will give us some protection against Mutavaults. Which is so much burn at this point is going to be left in his hand. I mean, he does need mana. But I'm thinking I might just keep these Spear of Heliod back, and then hopefully I have enough to activate and cast stuff. So let's see what we actually draw. It's going to be another Soldier Pantheon. That's perfect. Again, I don't believe I hook him up with a... Do we run right into another Shock? I mean, I could just go for it here with the Gift of Orzhov, but it's still in like lightning strike range. So what I think I'm going to do is just keep everything back, keep the Spear of Heliod back. And see if he's got another Magma Jet. He does not. So there's another mountain, so we can safely cast a Phalanx Leader now. And still have the Gift of Orzhov mana. Or the Spear of Heliod mana. So we're getting a little bit lucky that he doesn't draw anything here. See if he just starts burning me. He does. He burns me, so that's awesome. Again, I hope he taps out for like a Chandra's Phoenix, and then we can go crazy with the Gift of Orzhov. And then just basically win. Yeah, he can't really... Creatures are pointless at this point. Still doesn't have anything, but it means he's got a... Okay, so this is going to be the good thing here. I can hook this up, and then I Brave the Elements, and it should be game. Because I don't think he can get past 8 unless he's got a Skullcrack. No. So I get life back like crazy. He's down to a 9. I can protect everything with a Brave the Elements. And this is exactly what... Yeah, this is actually the game plan here. I do like the Spear of Heliod. Yeah, I just think these Eidolons are going to be too slow. I might actually want to go quicker. Madcap Skills are pointless in this. Again, it's not... These aren't coming in because I don't want to get 2 for 1. And then it's almost tempting putting like a Cavalry Pegasus because it's still something that can come out early. But I think Eidolon's just better because you can it'll become big, hopefully big. But at this point, a Fabled Hero just might be better, completely better than Eidolons. We're gonna go a mix of them. I'm gonna take out an Eidolon and put in one Fabled Hero just in case it's got the Gift of Orzhov a Fabled Hero. I'm gonna submit this away. And again, hopefully we have a Brave the Elements in hand, or God's Willing preferably in hand. And we do not have it, but I don't see myself actually mulliganing this because we have... Again, I'd rather have a Soldier of Pantheon die than a Hopeful Eidolon. He's gonna go Ash Zealot. That's definitely interesting. As I'll race this all day long. I think we just we'll Temple of Triumph. I want another land. Sweet, we'll put that on top. And I'll use this Hopeful Eidolon. But I mean, he's still got this Ash Zealot draw again. But now he's got it. He's got to take care of this Hopeful Eidolon. But this 2 damage per turn might get us, as he's just gonna be able to Magma Jet stuff. But if he lets me untap, I'll Brave the Elements here. I'll keep Brave the Elements up. Sweet. So now we can actually Phalanx Leader here. And attack in with both these guys. And Searing Blood, this will definitely Brave the Elements for red. Saves us a ton of damage. And gains us a life, which is actually very relevant in this. So let's see how he reacts with his Ash Zealot if he actually wants to attack in now. Because next turn we do have a Spear of Heliod. And he should be giving us time to stabilize here. I mean, again, he's got to play around another Brave of the Elements. Best case scenario is we draw into a God's Willing. And that way I can double cast a Spear of Heliod and a God's Willing. But basically anything in our deck is relevant here. Another land is fine. And we can cast everything else that we draw into. So no dead draws for quite a while. I mean, another land is not that great, but it's the ability to actually, he's going to do it now, okay, with the Searing Blood. That hurts. Double Searing Blood hand, that does hurt. But again, it's not a Searing Blood that hits the Soldier of Pantheon or the Phalanx Leader. Both these cards we need to keep alive. And we're almost into bestow range for the Hopeful Eidolon. That's awesome. Yeah, what do you do here? I think you just have to keep Ash Zealot back and then just try to outburn me. Just hope for more Searing Bloods. No, he decides not to do that. So he probably has like a Magma Jet or something. But if he allows me to untap, then it's more Brave of the Elements and God's Willings that I can draw into. Yep, so Magma Jet, that means he doesn't want me to gain any life off the Soldier Pantheon. One of the better cards actually would be a Hopeful Eidolon to draw into here. I mean, I've got free reign on his turn. Boros Charm is definitely not one of those cards I wanted to see. I could Skyguard and leave up a Boros Charm, but I think it's just resolving a Spear of Heliod here, or actually just casting a Skyguard would be the way to go. And getting in there for 1 damage. But he's able to set up his hand. He put both cards on top from the Magma Jet, so that's very scary. Meaning a Viashino First Blade. I might just need to block this. I think I do. So, hopefully not a dead card here. Favored Hoplite, that's okay. We can cast them both. And I'll leave this back, because at this point I do need to start trading. I'm sure this guy's going to get shocked, because why wouldn't he have a shock left out of his hand? But Favored Hoplite can block both of them. And nothing comes down, so that's good for us. Chain to the Rocks. Where'd that come from? On probably a Favored Hoplite. Yep, and then he's just going to attack him with the Zealot here. And a Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to block. If I give this guy Double Strike, I mean, it could go all out. That's 6. I could do 6 damage. I think the only thing I can top deck in here for a win is a Hopeful Eidolon would be the only thing. Like, I can't make this trade here. I just got to take 6 and go to 4. But unfortunately, Ethereal Armor, would that be lethal if I would have kept the Ethereal Armors in? Because it would have put up to 4, and then Boros Charming it would put up to 5. No, it would still be... No, put up to 5 and then 6. Yeah, it'd still be only 12 damage. So, again, I'm pretty much out of answers here. Another Spear of Heliod is the absolute worst card in the entire world. And that should be game because there's nothing I can do here. Yep. So we have to concede that game. Again, I feel very fine against this matchup. If we draw a just one God's Willing, we didn't see a God's Willing the entire time out of all of those matchups. So there's the God's Willing. I mean, it's just a blowout if he tries to kill something, and I God's Willing it and give it a counter and put it out of reach of like Magma Jets. The thing is, he has so many ways to just do 2 damage. I need to get my creatures above 2 damage and whatnot. So anyway, what we'll do right now is we'll just get rid of these mountains. This was a terrible mana base by me. I wasn't even... I think 2 mountains are probably fine. What we're going to do is put more plains in yeah, I think just go down to 2 mountains is all. And I'm going to put 1 more guild gate. And we're going to save that, and hopefully that works out a lot better. Again, I'm not worried about that matchup. I think it's heavily in our favor if we can just put out a first drop and then protect it. He wastes a lot of burn on trying to remove that creature. Anyway, this has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.